Welcome back to the saga of Rome's military greats. As we dive deeper, discover the next 10 generals whose cunning and valor built the backbone of the Roman Republic. Let's dive in. Lucius Mummius Achaicus was a Roman statesman and general who played a crucial role in the destruction of Corinth. We will dive into his military achievements, primarily focusing on his conquest of this once great city. After the Romans defeated the Macedonian kingdom, it was time to deal with the Achaean League, a coalition of Greek city-states that had rebelled against Roman dominance. Mummius was given command of the Roman forces and he advanced toward Corinth, a central power of the Achaean League. The two armies clashed near the Isthmus of Corinth. Despite the strong resistance from the Greeks, Mummius utilized excellent tactics and the superior discipline of his troops to rout the enemy. The city of Corinth was captured and destroyed, its treasures taken to Rome, and its population sold into slavery. But what set Mummius apart was not just his military prowess, it was his sense of Roman dignity. He strictly ordered his soldiers not to loot specific sacred buildings, recognizing the cultural importance of the ancient city even as he carried out its destruction. This feat earned him the title Achaicus and highlighted the paradox of Roman power, the ability to destroy and, at the same time, to appreciate the culture of the vanquished. Gaius Duilius was a Roman military leader notable for his naval innovations during the First Punic War. We will focus on his groundbreaking victory at the Battle of Mylae, which transformed Rome's naval capabilities. Before Duilius took command, the Roman navy was an underdog compared to Carthage's well-trained and well-equipped fleets. Realizing that Rome couldn't outmaneuver Carthaginian ships, they introduced a novel solution, the corvus, a boarding bridge that allowed Roman soldiers to engage in hand-to-hand combat, their forte. With this innovation, he confronted the Carthaginian fleet at the Battle of Mylae in 260 BC. As Carthaginian ships approached, the corvi were lowered, and Roman soldiers stormed onto the enemy vessels. The Carthaginians were unprepared for this kind of fight. Their naval superiority became irrelevant as they couldn't prevent the Romans from boarding. Duilius won a decisive victory, capturing or sinking a significant portion of the Carthaginian fleet. This battle was a turning point in naval warfare and gave Rome the confidence to continue its struggle against Carthage at sea. Titus Quinctius Flamininus was a Roman politician and general best known for defeating Philip V of Macedon. We will outline his military achievements, particularly his role in the Second Macedonian War. When Flamininus was appointed as the Roman commander in Greece, he faced a formidable opponent in Philip V. Eager to bring Rome's Hellenic allies under a more stable rule, Flamininus adopted a two-pronged approach: diplomacy and military aggression. Recognizing the strategic importance of key Greek cities, he skillfully took several fortresses that were essential to Macedonian control. This strategy had a dual effect: it boosted Roman military presence and secured the loyalty of key Greek states. When Flamininus finally clashed with Philip V at the Battle of Cynocephaly, the Roman legions were at their peak form. Using clever tactics, he exploited weaknesses in the Macedonian phalanx, claiming a decisive victory that changed the course of the war. Flamininus followed this up with a magnanimous gesture, proclaiming the freedom of the Greek states, a move that earned him lasting gratitude and cemented Rome's influence in the region. Lucius Aemilius Paulus Macedonicus was a Roman general known for his victory over the Macedonian king Perseus. We will delve into that crucial campaign, spotlighting Paulus's tactical genius and unyielding resolve. After assuming command in the Third Macedonian War, Paulus was keenly aware that his predecessor's tactics had been ineffective against the Macedonian phalanx. Instead of directly confronting Perseus's formidable forces, he opted for a more nuanced strategy. Paulus carefully chose the battlefield, setting up his troops on terrain unfavorable to the phalanx formation. When the decisive Battle of Pydna began, Perseus's initial charge seemed promising, but Paulus had prepared for this. The Roman soldiers drew the Macedonians onto broken ground, disrupting their phalanx and leaving them vulnerable. Sensing the moment, Paulus ordered a full-scale assault that shattered the enemy lines, capturing Perseus and effectively ending the war. This crucial victory led to the Roman annexation of Macedonia and solidified Paulus's reputation as one of Rome's great military tacticians. Quintus Caecilius Metellus Macedonicus was a Roman statesman and general who made a significant impact on Rome's eastern frontier. We will focus on his military exploits in Macedonia, which earned him his agnomen Macedonicus. Metellus Macedonicus took command of Roman forces in Macedonia after the disastrous defeat of his predecessor against Andriscus, who claimed to be a son of the late King Perseus. Determined to redeem Roman honor, Metellus quickly turned the tables. He retrained and revitalized the Roman legions, instilling in them a spirit of discipline and confidence. When the two forces finally met at the Second Battle of Pydna, Metellus showcased his tactical prowess. Using feigned retreats and deceptive formations, he lured Andriscus's phalanx into disadvantageous terrain, breaking the cohesion of the Macedonian infantry. With Roman legions now on the offensive, Metellus decisively crushed Andriscus's forces and captured him, effectively putting an end to the Macedonian revolt. His brilliant victory not only restored Roman prestige but also led to the final Roman annexation of Macedonia, earning him a triumph and the everlasting epithet of Macedonicus. Fabius Maximus, often called the Shield of Rome, is remembered as the master of delay and strategic retreat. We will explore Fabius Maximus's key military contributions, focusing on his tactics during the Second Punic War against Hannibal of Carthage. During the Second Punic War, Rome suffered crushing defeats at Hannibal's hands, including the infamous Battle of Cannae. Rather than confronting Hannibal directly, Fabius proposed a different approach, a war of attrition. Instead of engaging in pitched battles, Fabius shadowed Hannibal's forces, cutting off his supply lines, harassing his troops, and choosing his battles carefully. This strategy frustrated the Carthaginian general, who was accustomed to Roman directness and eagerness to battle. Fabius's tactics aimed to weaken the enemy slowly without risking another large-scale confrontation. By refusing to give Hannibal the battle he desired, and by focusing on smaller engagements, Fabius managed to slow down and exhaust the Carthaginian army. His approach wasn't initially popular in Rome, but with time, many recognized its wisdom. Fabius Maximus's delaying tactics preserved the Roman army, giving it time to regroup and eventually counterattack, solidifying his reputation as one of Rome's most strategic military minds. Manius Curius Dentatus was a Roman statesman and general who gained fame for his military valor and his Spartan lifestyle. We will explore his most significant military accomplishments, particularly in the wars against the Samnites and Pyrrhus of Epirus. Dentatus was a key figure during the Third Samnite War, contributing to Rome's expansion into the Italian peninsula. He was instrumental in capturing several Samnite strongholds, using a blend of brute force and cunning strategy that showcased his military acumen. But perhaps his most celebrated victory was against Pyrrhus of Epirus, the formidable general who had already defeated several Roman armies. In the Battle of Beneventum, Dentatus cleverly used the terrain to his advantage, nullifying the impact of Pyrrhus's war elephants. His troops encircled and defeated the Epirote army, compelling Pyrrhus to abandon his campaign in Italy. Dentatus was not just a brilliant tactician, he was also a model of Roman virtue. When offered a large sum of gold by the Samnites as a bribe, he famously rejected it, stating that he fought to subdue, not to enrich, himself. His military victories and moral character made him an enduring symbol of Roman fortitude and integrity. Gaius Claudius Nero was a Roman general best known for his role in the Second Punic War against Carthage. We will delve into his most pivotal military achievements, particularly his actions at the Battle of the Metaurus. In 207 BC, during the Second Punic War, Nero was serving as consul alongside Marcus Livius Salinator. Both were fighting separate fronts against the Carthaginians, but it was Nero who would execute a bold move that would tip the scales in Rome's favor. Upon learning that Hasdrubal, Hannibal's brother, was marching to Italy to reinforce him, Nero quickly devised a plan. In an unprecedented act, he took a portion of his army on a rapid, secret march across Italy to join forces with Salinator near the Metaurus River. The combined Roman forces met Hasdrubal at the Battle of the Metaurus, where Nero's strategic brilliance came into full display. He discerned that Hasdrubal's left flank was weak and launched a concentrated attack, culminating in a Roman victory and the death of Hasdrubal. This victory disrupted the Carthaginian plans for a joint attack on Rome and significantly contributed to the eventual Roman triumph in the war. Sextus Pompey, son of the famous Roman general Pompey the Great, made his mark in history as a formidable naval commander during the late Roman Republic. We will focus on Sextus Pompey's naval exploits, particularly against the Second Triumvirate that sought to bring him down. After the defeat and death of his father, Sextus Pompey inherited the mantle of resistance against the rise of Caesar's successors. He established himself in Sicily, turning it into a stronghold from which he could launch naval raids that disrupted Rome's grain supply. His naval mastery was such that he posed a genuine threat to the Second Triumvirate, comprising Octavian, Mark Antony, and Lepidus. Despite being outnumbered and often out-resourced, Sextus scored significant victories at sea, including the Battle of Messina, compelling the triumvirs to negotiate. His ability to dominate the waters forced the triumvirate to build a new fleet and train thousands of oarsmen to counter him. Though he was eventually defeated by the combined might of Agrippa's naval innovations and Octavian's political maneuvers, his naval prowess had a lasting impact, forcing Rome to significantly invest in and rethink its naval strategy. Titus Labienus was a Roman officer and general who fought alongside Julius Caesar in the Gallic Wars, before eventually becoming his adversary in the Roman Civil War. We will explore Labienus's notable military contributions, particularly his role as Caesar's chief lieutenant in Gaul and his later opposition to him. Labienus gained recognition for his strategic brilliance during the Gallic Wars, serving as Caesar's most trusted general. His tactical acumen was crucial in battles such as the Siege of Alesia, where he commanded one of the legions that successfully trapped the Gallic army. Labienus was also instrumental in the defeat of the Belgic tribe of the Nervii, executing maneuvers that led to Roman victory. However, despite their successful partnership, Labienus chose to align himself with Pompey when civil war broke out in Rome. Now pitted against Caesar, he took part in key battles, including Dyrrhachium and Pharsalus. At Dyrrhachium, Labienus almost succeeded in trapping Caesar's forces, revealing the profound understanding he had of his former commander's tactics. Though ultimately unsuccessful in the war against Caesar, Labienus's skills as a general and his shifts in allegiance make him a complex and fascinating figure in the annals of Roman military history. There you have it, our exploration into the minds of Rome's often overlooked but pivotal military leaders is complete. These men weren't just names in history books, they were the architects of a republic on its journey to becoming an empire. If you've enjoyed this two-part series on the Roman Republic's greatest generals, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more compelling historical journeys. Got a favorite general we missed? Comment below, and let's keep the conversation going.